down at the gorgeous facility that you have, Mr. Mayor, for the center. The Center for Performing Arts, right downtown. If you come down and you're down in the East Valley, come check us out. We'll be down here until about 2 o'clock or so today, highlighting the vendors that are down. And we just want to take that opportunity to welcome the mayor in here and sir, talk to us about the City of Scottsdale and what you guys are doing here for senior living.
Fantastic, Tony. I love to say welcome to Scottsdale. Right now, there are 400 participants down enjoying all the vendor activity, learning about how and what connections we can have for better community health. And one of the things I will point out is Scottsdale's known for 4 attributes. First, we're a very beautiful city.
Amen.
We're a very clean city. We're a very safe city. And we're all about wellness. Personal wellness, how are you doing? Family wellness, how's your family doing? Business wellness, and all of those are really centered on what makes Scottsdale really a wonderful place to live.
Yeah, you and I got to know each other for Rotary on the side of that. You've been a Rotarian for 30 years for you now, is that right? Or in and around that time? Oftentimes we'll get historians that'll come up. I always enjoy those programs when we get that opportunity to hear that background of how the city came back together. But it sure is starting to shine as a great place to come retire. And as more of our audience as families, their parents make that, this is where they decide to plant their Alamo, if you will, and they're going to write it out. It's great that the city welcomes them. A lot of stuff going on.
Well, actually, I came to Scottsdale as a 22-year-old with an architecture degree, and worked for the architect that designed the Scottsdale City Hall.
Oh, really?
And this building and the library. So I had a wonderful introduction as an apprentice to Scottsdale, and here I am 44 years later, in a leadership position. Scottsdale certainly has shaped me, and as an architect, I've shaped Scottsdale. And I run into people all the time who will say they were with Motorola in the early years, when the project was to create the communications for the moon landing. And this was a center of technology and so forth. It's amazing to see the content that we have history-wise and shaping the valley as well. So as people age, and again, perhaps their children grow and leave the area, but so many are still in the valley and become, a focus for what you're doing today. And I think that's a very valuable. This is a very, very valuable event. The city supports what we're doing here, and it's important to keep that foundational goodness, knowledge that built Scottsdale to continue. Sometimes the information isn't clear, so it's a matter of connecting with the resources that would make it that are available.
Well, and those personal connections you talk to, that a lot of times when you're working through end of life as a family, just aging as a family, it's about the right person at the right time doing the right thing, right? There is so much going on. One thing that I've always enjoyed about Scottsdale is I find it, large enough to comprehend, but small enough to get your arms around, right? It's that community that you can reach out. When I call city services or, I have to get help off of something, I get a person really darn quickly. And that matters to me in a place where I want to be connected into that community. And I want my parents to be.
Well, Scottsdale has always had a strong identity, a self-identity, again, family oriented. Also, we were blessed because we border the Salt River Pima reservation, and that allows us to have an identity. Remember, if it weren't there and Mesa was abutting us and Phoenix, we wouldn't have that. A bit of a little isolation and more of an identity. As we grow old together, again, there's so much that can be shared intergenerationally, and certainly the more active people stay and remain, the better the quality of life at whatever age.
Right.
At whatever age.
Well, those are obviously two softballs, right? And the city walks into one, the amount of the park space, amazing amount of great, gorgeous park space, walking space to get out, to be active and to spend that time around. One of the other things in connection, technology. We're a technology, we're a media and technology company at a root. Looking forward, you've got ASU that clearly has been attracted up into this area. I know I have a lot of other companies that are ditching Silicon Valley and some of those areas to come up into Scottsdale. You've got some great traction, starting to attract some technology companies now.
Well, Scottsdale was always involved in amenities, open space. We have double the open space in parks per capita than any other city in Arizona.
Yeah, it feels that too. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. And so what you want is triple win, not just in doing a park, but having engagement so that people can design and celebrate events there, and so that it may even be a drainage solution, right? And so there it keeps people safe. It's a social space, and that's really what we care about. We do not we I'll say it positively. We want interaction. The opposite is isolation and some forms of depression, some forms, and that's why we have such a strong senior program, as well as library program, and then, well, people usually express their opinions down at City Hall, and they're welcome to do so, and that's a good energy that we ask for as well. I see that, remember, top to bottom, from teenagers to young career people, mid-range, and everyone's still involved. So we have real purpose at Scottsdale, and I think together it's a really strong community.
You step into a real public, a taxing role. I mean, I know I see it shuffling and moving from one thing to the, there's a lot of responsibility from that. What do you like best about leading in this community?
Well, my day is planned. I have an itinerary, my chief of staff, and so forth. And like this is my fourth event today. So most of my day is planned, but the other third is a surprise. That's the beauty of Scottsdale. Someone will say they grew up with my son, they grew up with my daughter, they went, through something, and it's really a neat connection. As mayor, I have that honor and pleasure to be able to receive those kind of positive thoughts. And as I said, it's a generational thing. We're now Scottsdale's 71 years old. Well, that's basically three generations of settlement, of maturity, and that's a great thing. We have an identity that builds together. I love being mayor every morning. We have a nice breakfast, and my wife Rosemary says 4 words: find joy, bring joy. And I think that's what we would, if it means calling a friend, calling a senior, saying, "Hey, how are you? How are you doing? And how can we connect?" The parenting part, remember, as we were parented, so we will parent. And I really like the intention and the follow through that you have, and in terms of looking always to one another. That's very fulfilling for me. I like meeting new employees. We have 2,600 employees in Scottsdale. As a municipality, we do our work, but before COVID, we had 5,000 volunteers, double the number of employees.
Wow.
Now that is a lot of energy at different areas in the preserve and the libraries, at games and at transportation, all of these giving back. And participating with our city.
Well, and many more opportunities to get them out. That's, again, those are those opportunities to get out of isolation.
Sure.
You just, I dare you to come to Scottsdale and not get involved. I don't know how it happens. Whether you're going to go watch a game. I saw the Super Bowl down right off of the. I mean, what an amazing, fun opportunity that turned into for you guys.
Yeah, we had a tailgate, and I what I did is, okay, so there at Main Street, it was all planned and a wonderful venue and exciting to showcase, really the legacy area of Scottsdale.
Right.
It was 1 square mile. Now we're 184 square miles. So I'll just tell you a little trick. Okay. So anyway, I put on my flashiest blazer, and it has some square and this and that. Well, I walk up to the back area. They just open the gate for me. They assume I'm an anchor right away,
Because
and
you're
I'm just like,
flashy.
okay, thank you. I no ticket necessary. And eventually, I just walk up there. But you keep a smile.
Yeah.
We have the right intentions, and remember those 4 attributes.
Yeah.
We're beautiful. Well, it takes good planning to get there.
Yep.
We're clean. Think about all of the refuse and all these things. There was 1.3 million people at the Phoenix Open. And by the way, a lot of the volunteers there are seniors,
right.
helping and have done so for a long time. But we're safe.
Yeah.
And we are public safety and police and fire are so dedicated. It takes a lot of work. And really, we didn't have any incidents. And to manage, most people wouldn't realize that we had over 700 police officers at the Phoenix Open. Yeah. But one day we had 480,000 people. That was just one day, a Saturday.
That's a huge flex.
So all of that, ESPN, we keep raising our expectations, and you're going to hear some other neat things that are coming up. Okay. I encourage everyone to get involved. Yeah. I praise you for reaching out. And that's really what we want to do. The city certainly can't do it by ourselves, but we are servants. We are servants, and we are helpers. And that's the beauty of a group like yours that wants to share and find new ways to connect.
Well, thank you so much. And I really, again, I can't express enough how much we appreciate you sharing your time, talents, and treasures with us. Thanks so much, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, you got it.
God bless having you here. Thanks very much for joining us upstairs. And now we're going to throw some stuff back downstairs. Join us out here. Again, if you're in the East Valley today, we're here till 2 o'clock. Stop for the 2023 City of Scottsdale All Things Senior Expo happening here at the Scottsdale Center for Performing Arts. And we'll be back right after this.